Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe. Today, I actually want to talk about AI browser assistants. You might be downloading one, you might be using one from some of the big names. They're privacy disasters, except for one. Now, this is actually really interesting, and this is coming from UCL News. And here's what's going on, because obviously AI web browser assistants are obviously, because I'm talking about it, collecting and sharing sensitive user data such as your medical records, your social security numbers if you're punching them into your computer, and they don't have adequate safeguards. This is according to researchers from UCL, UC Davis, and Mediterranea University of Reggio Calabria, which I'm assuming is in Italy. So the study is the first large-scale analysis of generative AI browser assistance and privacy, and it uncovered widespread tracking, profiling, and personalization practices that pose serious privacy concerns, with the authors calling for greater transparency, obviously, and user control over data collection and sharing practices. The researchers, for the record, analyzed 10 of the most popular generative AI browser extensions, such as ChatGPT for Google, Merlin, Microsoft Copilot, and on and on. These tools, which need to be downloaded and installed, essentially meaning you are making the choice to integrate this into your browser, are designed to enhance web browsing with AI-powered features like summarization and search assistance, but they were found to collect extensive personal data from your web activity. Analysis revealed that several assistants transmitted full web page content, including any information visible on screen, to basically the servers phoning back home to their companies. One assistant, known as Merlin, even captured inputs such as online banking details or health data. So extensions like Cider and Tinamine, that's another two popular ones, shared user questions and information that could identify them, such as their IP address, with platforms like Google Analytics enabling potential cross-site tracking and targeting. And odds are Google is paying Cider and Tinamine for that, because they literally have built SDKs or software development kits exactly for that purpose. ChatGPT for Google, Copilot, Monica, and Cider demonstrated the ability to infer a user's attributes such as your age, gender, income, and interest, and then use that information to personalize responses, even across different browsing sessions. Only one assistant, like I mentioned, did not show any evidence of profiling or personalization, and that was Perplexity. So, good on you, Perplexity, still not going to use you. So, here's how they confirmed all of this. For the study, the researchers simulated real-world browsing scenarios by creating a persona of a, quote, rich millennial male from California, end quote, which they used to interact with the browser assistants while completing common online tasks. This included things like, both in public, for the record, and private logged out space, such as reading online news, shopping on Amazon, or watching YouTube videos. So they'd log into a YouTube account, watch, log out of a YouTube account, watch, etc., etc. Also included activities in private browsing. Remember, this is when you pop open in, incognito mode and all that kind of stuff. It's not supposed to track. So they did that. They tracked that. So they accessed in private mode or incognito mode university health portals. They logged into dating services. They also accessed adult content websites, think Pornhub, that kind of stuff. Now, the researchers assumed that users would not want this activity to be tracked due to it being sensitive and personal, especially in incognito mode. During the simulation, the researchers intercepted and decrypted traffic between browser assistants, their servers, and third-party trackers, allowing them to analyze what data was flowing in and out in real time. What are you sending to Google? What are you sending to OpenAI? What are you sending to Microsoft, etc.? They also tested whether assistants could infer and remember characteristics based on browsing behavior by asking them to summarize the web pages, then asking the assistants questions such as, quote, what was the purpose of the current medical visit, end quote, after accessing the online health portal, to see if it had retained data. The experiments revealed that some of the assistants, including Merlin and Cider, did not stop recording activity when you were in private or incognito mode. And that's the problem, right? This is a big issue because we are sacrificing privacy at this point for the sake of convenience. At first it was, oh, it's fun, I'm connecting with my friends on social media, not really realizing, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world are data mining the bejesus out of you, same with Google searching. AI is doing the same thing, but it's going beyond just essentially hoovering up all of your data, it's starting to make personalized and behavioral connections and then feeding that back to these companies that can then sell it to advertisers or researchers or whatever they want to try to understand you. Now imagine something like an authoritarian government getting access to this internal data because, Google turns it over and whatnot. Now they start to understand behaviorally. You're not just going to, let's say, a website that's against an authoritarian government or something like that. You are actively participating in, let's say, a resistance or something along those lines. Not to mention the fact your personal health data is out there where it's going to have no protections if it's sitting in a Google, and on and on and on. This is a massive, massive problem. And so if you're using a web browsing assistant, I highly recommend you don't. And if you're going to, apparently Perplexity is the only one that's not doing it at this time. And I do say at this time because maybe Perplexity is just catching up to their competitors. So there it is. Can't say you haven't been told, but if you're using an AI web browsing assistant, understand whether it's credit cards, health data, personal information, or even something salacious you're writing, they're going to see it, they're going to analyze it, and they're going to send it somewhere. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. That'll data mine you, but AI is turning it up to 11. Same with YouTube as well, where you should subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private, informed, and secure. Take care.